new. Okay? Once you find answers to all this, then I guess you have to bring in the best practices that works for you. Like for me, certain things work. That what leadership is, certain things work. Like I quote Dr. Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I mean, I didn't follow that's 15 years. I think I read the book like a Bible. Okay? So it worked very well for me because it actually showed me how I can lead myself. Because the first 3 habits talk about leading yourself. The next 4 habits talk about how you in the world can go around. So these habits help me a lot. So for each one, something works for me. What works, I'm just sharing that. So you need to identify what toolkit helps you to be a leader, and then begin multiplying yourself.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the audience?
I have a question too.
The key to that, I'm sure, motivating people is never a challenge if you know what to do. What was the first part of your question?
Expectations of the parents have changed very radically during the post-pandemic.
You know, at the cost of sounding a little pompous, I must tell you that a doctor advises to a patient that this is good medicine for you. The patient will not ask the doctor back that, don't you think that medicine is better? Because the patient blindly believes the doctor. The day we educators grow to be professionals, knowing all the answers and the destiny of what we are doing, I'm sure parents also will have faith in you and they will create their expectations according to the abilities you display. So we don't alter the direction of schools because of parents' expectations. I think this has already been done in the last 10 years. So we need to grow as professionals to create a new set of expectations for parents. Like in his earlier presentation, Web 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. Parents are in 1.0. Teachers are in 0.0 largely. Okay? We need to empower ourselves. We need to professionalize our roles. Then, we can take everyone to that 3.0 level.
My next question is to Mr. Patrick. Sir, you were a highly decorated officer in Indian Navy, and you saw the turbulence in the sea. Do you see the same turbulence in the sea of children today?
That's a very tricky one. Times have changed. The children, yes, the sea of turbulence is there. Some good, some bad. The good turbulence is they're very clear in their minds. The child at the 7th or 8th standard is clear what is his path to becoming what he wants to be. They are very vocal about their career choices in life. They resent and they actually dissent sometimes what their parents have to suggest for their careers. They are clear on their way of life, on their philosophy of life, on what they want in life. But unfortunately, the turbulence sometimes is negative, in which they fail to see the teacher's perspective, the guru's perspective. They fail to see the guru's perspective in their own parents and their seniors. They fail to learn the lessons learned by people around them. So while we get them into a very paradoxical situation where we expect them to be creative, to be experimental, to research, and be risk takers, as they say in the ideal world. On the other hand, we expect them to be disciplined, to listen to us, to mark what we say, and at least take heed to what we do. So I would say there's a lot of turbulence in the children's mind in that perspective. They are a confused lot. They do not know what to do. And while they want to explore, while they want to research and experiment, they also do not, they are also told by the same people to be listened to. Is that all?
Thank you so much. My question is to Mr. Khan, the chairperson.
The European child is obedient but not disciplined. The students of the Americas, they have been led on their own. So every region has a different student capacity. But I find that the Indian student is the most disciplined and most obedient. But our teachers have taken them for granted. our children are brought to school and told that you are here because you are stupid. We are not giving them a clear idea as to how to do it. We just say not to do it. Don't ask me a question. No. We are not telling them how. We are not telling them how to do this, how to be a man, how to be a woman. We are not teaching her how to be a lady. We are just teaching her to be, just teaching her chemistry, physics and math and telling her be on your way. But that is not what an Indian child or an Indian ethos is all about. We need to teach our children right from walking, talking, sitting, listening, eating and attending a party, behaving with their procreators, which are their parents. If they don't know how to behave with their procreators, how can they behave with their creator? So our children in this archipelago of India are one of the most receptive children I have seen from the north of Sarayan to the Kanyakumari. Our children are like versatile sponges. You teach them anything. Sitar. I can teach a child sitar at age 8. It takes a long while for a Spanish child to learn guitar. So these differences do occur because our ethos is totally different. Our children listen. But are our teachers listening? Mr. Mr. Tiny and I were discussing this afternoon. Are we listening to our children? So we take a leap forward when we start listening to our children. And that is when the early educators were discussing on their panel, there were a lot of questions on when to start the child's education. A child's education should be started when the child is ready to educate. When he is ready to be educated. No point sending a one-year-old kid to school. There are cases when the parent is very busy or a single parent, no backup systems. That's a different idea. But sending them to school too young is not a very good idea. Keeping them in school for too long is not a good idea. So we as teachers need to draw lines, we need to have boundaries and give them mannerisms, excellent mannerisms through physics, chemistry, biology, Hindi, Urdu, Telugu and whatever we teach. If you don't teach them manners, our roads are getting congested. If we are not teaching them manners, our localities are getting disturbed. Our children are getting devalued. In the world today, Indians are not looked upon very well. My children sitting there in the back row, they send me on a cruise to the furthest end of the world. Why? Because those people know how to behave. So they think that we Indians do not have the manners to stand in a queue. We don't have the manners to look at each other. We are so busy with us. We are so involved that we are not bothered about our neighbors, though we are very good friends with them. We are not bothered about our elders, but we do respect them. So there is a missing link. Jai Hind, of course.
My last question, Mr. Dalmia. Mr. Dalmia, you were in the corporate house for a long time, 18 years still. It's a very long time. How do you envisage the idea of, how do you envisage or appreciate the idea of getting the corporate culture in the education system, making a rule book, probably like, which works in a rigid framework or something like that. A corporate culture in the education system.
It's quite funny that a school, normally we expect discipline, but what I found across, whenever I visit schools is that we lack a sense of culture in terms of, bringing the best of practices. Again, I've seen that mostly it's the principal which drives the entire school. Obviously, you need a CEO, but I've seen in most schools that principals somehow don't empower their staff or their faculty. And what I feel is that you need to bring in a bit of corporate culture by empowering your staff. For me, when you are creating any institution, you need to create a culture of trust. You need to create a culture of values. You need to create a culture of ethics. And at the end of the day, it's important that you put all these put together, and you need to create a culture of respect for each other, for opinions, teamwork. All these have to help in building up relationships. And at the end of the day, it's ultimately your relationships which will help you. So somehow you need a bit of corporate culture. You need to imbibe the best of the culture in both these organizations and developments.
The Gurukul will be corporate. Yes, that is the.
I would like to add a point to what you said, Mr. Khan. I'm here. Yeah. The conversation between you two regarding what we teach or don't teach to the children in our country. What he shared about is a wonderful past that we have. But the same culture is not exactly being taught even by the parents or the schools. The national goals have not been established or defined till now of education, school education. The goal is to help the child get 100% if possible, minimum 95% otherwise. But where is it defined in the national curriculum framework or anywhere in our country that through biology we have to teach values, through mathematics we have to teach the sustainable accountancy of the world, or through physics that we understand the dynamics of the world? Nowhere the goals have been defined. That's where the missing link is. The goals in the schools is not to teach sustainability or ethics or respect or preserving the past. Preserving the past has become a 15th August event. It has not continued with that. So I think it's the missing link is in the national goals itself for education.
And the national integrated system.
I guess so.
And that will come, I suppose,